All right, today we're going to be doing another 5 best feats for a specific subclass for the Ranger this time for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. And we are going to be looking at the 5e D&D Gloom Stalker, probably the best Ranger subclass that there is.
It definitely seems to be the most popular.
It is. I mean, it gets a lot of really cool abilities, which is like, I think where we should go with this video first, like what makes the Gloom Stalker stand out amongst other Ranger subclasses.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Dave.
Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds. So it's a few key abilities that we're going to be playing off for this particular set of feats. So we're looking at Dread Ambusher, Umbral Sight, and Iron Mind. I think are the most telling of their abilities.
Yeah, Dread Ambusher is when, on your first round of combat for a Gloom Stalker, you get extra movement, you get an extra attack that does an extra die of damage, but also Umbral Sight is the one where it expands your dark vision or gives you dark vision if you don't have it already. It also makes you invisible to others using dark vision.
And then Iron Mind is going to give you proficiency in one of the good saving throws.
Well, one of the mental saving throws.
Right, yes.
So with it, let's just jump right in it and start looking at our top 5 picks. Number 1 on the list is Skoker. And Skoker is going to give you 3 benefits that are really helpful for this particular subclass. The first one is if you make an attack while you're hidden and you don't reveal yourself, then you're going to also get the ability to hide when lightly obscured. But I will say the one that I personally care about the most is in dim light, you do not get disadvantage or take a penalty to your wisdom perception checks.
Yeah. So, like, given the fact that you're a ranger, this definitely, keys off on so many different levels. But the not getting disadvantage on that perception, that is pretty awesome.
And especially when you pair that with Umbral Sight and the fact that you don't show up or register on dark vision for other creatures. So, like, I feel like the Gloom Stalker just lives in the dark. they're like the bane of D&D subclasses.
I am the darkness. So the next one up is going to be Alert, and this one, getting the ability to go faster or go first more often, is going to be helpful. There's some that say oh, you don't want this or you don't want that. They don't have to go first in order to get that bonus, but going first is always a good thing. But the real thing is not being surprised. Yeah. That's what you're really looking for, because if you're out there like scouting, being that person in the darkness, you want to make sure that nobody's getting the drop on you.
Yeah, you can't be surprised. You get a +5 to initiative, but also other creatures don't get advantage to hit you when you can't see them.
Right. So all in all, I think that's some pretty cool abilities that definitely fit for this particular character. Now,
our choice number 3 really leans into the Iron Mind feature for the Gloom Stalker Ranger, and that is Resilient.
So, if you're already getting dex from being a ranger, you're already getting Iron Mind gives you wisdom proficiency. Resilient, if you take con, that means you're going to have the 3 good saves.
Plus strength.
All for your character. So, having those good saves means you're going to be proficient in the things you're going to encounter most.
Also a half feat, so it's super useful to increase your constitution so you can get more hit points.
And if you're already planning this, you can have it so that, well, I've got an odd constitution, so I'm going to bump that up, get more hit points, and get, the proficiency at the same time.
So next up is Sharpshooter, and Gloom Stalker. None of their abilities specifically say they should be melee or ranged, but they make really good ranged combatants. And when you start combining that with Skoker, with dark vision that might range out even further than other creatures. I mean, if you play one of those races like the Drow or the Snarfneblin, who have 120 feet dark vision, I think Owling as well, you can then bump that to 150.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. So you're going to get eyes on targets way before they can even see you. Sharpshooter is going to allow you to take a -5 to get a +10 to damage. You're going to ignore long range penalties, and you're also going to ignore penalties for half and 3/4 cover.
Yeah, so that means you're going to be able to start, hitting them well before they even see you. So, like, you might take opponents down before they even have a chance to retaliate in any way, shape, or form.
And if you miss with any of your attacks because of Skoker, they don't even know where you're at.
Yeah. But speaking of missing with attacks, our next or our final feat is going to be Lucky. And whether it's going to be you want to re-roll that saving throw because you've got a decent bonus and you happen to roll poor and you want to pass, whether it's, hey, you want to re-roll that specific attack that's going to give you the extra die 8 damage on that first round of combat, or anything else that you might happen to be looking at, Lucky is going to help you out with it.
Right, Lucky gives you 3 luck points. You spend one of them to either re-roll or make someone else re-roll, which is super useful. And at first, like as well, Ted brought up Lucky. I'm like, yeah, Lucky's kind of good for everybody. And I'm not so sure if I see it for the Gloom Stalker. He's like, yeah, but that extra attack that you get, and you only get one of that does an extra die 8. It's very specific to that attack, so you really want to hit with that attack, if no other attack, right? So that's where the reroll, I think, is the most crucial, and that's why Lucky is on the list.
When I was reading the abilities of the Gloom Stalker, it says you get an extra attack that does a die 8 extra damage. It doesn't say you get an extra attack, and if an attack hits this round, you do a die 8 point of damage. It's very specific. And, even though I've seen several Gloomstalkers played in 5e, no one has used that specific rule. It's just like, oh, well, if one of them hits, you do an extra die 8 damage. And that's the way I would play it as well. But the wording is there specifically, and that's what we have to key off when we're doing these kind of things.
Yeah, it totally got abused at our table a bunch of times as the GM, and I just forgot that little piece of nuance, right? It's easy to remember, it's easy to read it and forget it, and I don't think like players are trying to cheat or anything. It's just like, a matter of fact, I think for this particular player, I'm usually one to remind them you can do an extra day of damage. So,
and to me, I don't necessarily care about the specific wording. If you play a Gloomstalker in my game, whatever attack hits in that first round, you're gonna get the extra damage. I don't care. It's a feature that you get, and I don't need to needle over that wording choice.
Yeah, but by raw,
and that's why I put Lucky on the list.
What do you guys think? What is your favorite feat to give a ranger, or specifically the Gloom Stalker? Do you agree with this list? Disagree? You can fight with us down in the comments and share your ideas and thoughts with the Nerdarchy community.
Before we let you go, if you like this video, others like it, and you want to help support us as well as all the awesome content over on Nerdarchy.com, why not come check us out over on Patreon and show us some love there.
Articles like, play your next 5e D&D character like a sewer ninja.
But if you want to get one of our cool products over on the website, why not check out Treasures of the Tundra? Uncovering the secrets of the frozen tundra gives adventurers the edge they'll need to survive. Arctic creatures, items, and player options represent the values and cultures of a perilous environment for the unprepared adventurer. The Yaksa are hale and hardy folk who dwell in these cold climes, and new subclasses put the power of the tundra in players' hands, along with Treasures of the Tundra ready to drop into your 5th edition games. New player race, the Yaksa, diminutive cousins of the Tundra Yeti. 4 new subclasses, the College of the Rime Bard, Way of the Northern Wind Monk, the Frost Ranger, and Iceborne Sorcerer. 2 new creature mounts, 17 new magic items, including magic item sets, and 10 new Tundra poisons. If you want to help Nerdarchy appease that YouTube algorithm, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, even go ahead and click on that notification bell. You know the drill.
Quick reminder, we drop new videos here on the channel Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so come on back. But you can't wait that long, no worries, we've got you covered. 5e D&D magic items, thematic to the Ranger, right up here.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.